For those interested in General Hospital spoilers, someone is following Elizabeth Weber, Rebecca Herbst. Liz has had a difficult go of it recently. She was bereaved of her spouse, the actor Franco Baldwin, Roger Howarth. In addition, Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, passed away. Jake Weber is his mother's son, and his father is Jason Hudson West. Both Franco and Jason were murdered by the villainous Peter August, Wes Ramsey. Now, though, odd things have begun to happen to Liz. After putting away her wedding ring, she discovered it in her school locker. Franco's studio burned down. Her wedding dress was in shreds. And now a painting has emerged in her house. Who, if anyone, is to blame? Franco's unofficial adopted mother is Betsy Frank, Deborah Strang. To a lesser extent, she also reared Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson. Betsy was not a constant in Franco's life. Jim Harvey, Greg Evigan, her boyfriend, was known to have assaulted Franco. Next, she had Drew lead the house. Betsy's mental and physical stability have never been strong points. The card Elizabeth got from Betsy, signed simply B, was eerily disturbing. Then, on the day that would have been Franco's anniversary of death, his crazy foster mother showed up at General. Even stranger occurrences began to surround Elizabeth at that point. Now, Franco's wife thinks Betsy is to blame for the problems. Is she, though? A Twitter alert urged people to stay away from her. This week, though, we learned that Betsy had been hospitalized after suffering a mental breakdown. In other words, unless she sneaked out, she is not the one tampering with Liz. The good news is that you have many more choices. Elizabeth and Jason Morgan's son, Jake Weber. Jake, as a young child on General Hospital, had a really challenging time. Many attempts were made to abduct him. Helena Cassadine was the most recent to do so, Constance Towers. She held Jake captive and led his family to believe he had been killed. Thankfully, Spencer, Jonathan Jackson, tracked down Jake and brought him back to Elizabeth. However, Liz's middle kid showed signs of serious distress. It was revealed that Helena had plotted for Jake to release a lethal biotoxin in Port Charles. Fortunately, they were able to thwart the plot. At long last, Jake accepted Jason as his biological father. He also has a tight relationship with his stepmother, Franco. He misplaced both of them. Anything like this has the potential to set off anyone, but what effect it might have on a youngster who has been indoctrinated by the Cassadines is unknown. Is Jake frightening his mom? One of the wildest characters in General Hospital lore is Heather Weber, Robin Matson. When Heather arrived in Port Charles in the 1970s, she immediately began making waves. She kidnapped, murdered, and attempted to murder numerous people, causing them great harm. Over the course of several years, she spent time in and out of psychiatric facilities. Franco's biological parents are finally revealed to be Heather and Scott Baldwin, much to everyone's surprise. For a long time, Heather was incarcerated in a maximum security prison. The mother of Franco, though, can easily flee the situation. Heather might be torturing Elizabeth out of a misguided sense of commitment to her son. She is a prime contender because she is not entirely rational. On General Hospital, Elizabeth Weber went through a challenging year. She found happiness in marriage to the man she had always loved. The stepfather role was well received by her sons, who adored Franco. At last, she had the perfect family unit that she had always dreamed of. After Franco died, Liz's entire life came crashing down around her. There is widespread agreement among Elizabeth Weber's friends that she never got over her tragic loss. Her priorities were her job and her two sons. Later, she started working with Dr. Hamilton Finn, Michael Easton. Both parties are taking things slowly, with Dr. Finn being especially sensitive to her needs. Yet Liz continues to feel remorse for having moved on after her husband's death. In this ABC soap, stress and guilt cause a variety of problems for the characters. Could this have caused Nurse Weber to have several personalities? Could it be that Liz, unbeknownst to herself, is the one doing the torturing? Hopefully, someone will find a solution to this mystery among the many medical professionals working at General Hospital. One source predicted that this would not be a did tale, but that it could be a breakdown. Whoever has been stalking Elizabeth Weber might not be a well-known figure. It's possible that a new person will show up on General Hospital. Franco was a renowned creative genius, serial killer, and art therapist. Therefore, Franco's widow may have an angry fan because she is dating. Or maybe someone from his history as a serial killer. Someone from Liz's own past could also be plotting against her. This Elizabeth business just keeps getting stranger. And so are her boys, who have joined her in her state of panic. The police in Port Charles have been called, and Finn is doing what he can to keep her safe. Is there anyone you suspect of harassing Liz?